This is why I'm not scared of AI and why you shouldn't be either. This is what comes to my mind when I think about the topic of will AI take our jobs? But before I go further, there are some concepts I think you need to understand first. I don't even know if you're ready for this kind of depth. This is not the kind of conversations I have in public. These are the kind of conversations I have with friends. Why not just do it here for today? And the main thing here is the duality of self versus identity. I'll explain. Let's start with this. What's this? It's money, right? It has value, yeah? Wrong. This is paper. This is dried leaves. Every single day you walk outside, you're stepping foot on this. It has no inherent value. But humanity as a civilization has all agreed that it has value. And it became a reality. Oh my God. Am I going too far? We as a civilization have brought a lot of things into reality just by agreeing. Something that is so pointless and worthless can have all the value to you if everybody agrees that it does. Now that's money. I'm about to take it one step deeper. Let's say your name is Victor. You have been identified by that name since you were born. You hold it so dear to you. In fact, to you, it defines you. But your name is just something that everybody on earth has agreed to call you by. But we hold it so dear to us like it came from the womb with us. But no, your true self is very different from your identity. If you were born on a different part of the world, you would have been called a different name. Just let me land. So we are separating self from identity. Let me give you a more concrete example. I, as a 12-year-old kid, I was very inquisitive about the world. If you're anything like me, you would understand what I'm saying. I was very observant about the world. I just wanted to explore and I wanted to create. I wanted to replicate things I saw in my imagination to reality. That is what I consider my true self. It's not a description, it's essence. It's things that as a human you are pulled towards. And this same concept doesn't just cover your name, it's your nationality, your tribe, your religion. These are identities separate from you, who you truly are. And it's crazy to think about, but over the years and centuries, humans have taken the lives of other humans based on identity. And we as humans are really quick to form identity out of nothing. PlayStation versus Xbox, see Ronaldo versus Messi, Android versus iPhone, traditional painters versus digital painters. Oh my God. It is now human nature to grow up forming different identities and attaching ourselves to them. But that is not what is truly you. Wait, I'm going somewhere. I described my true self to you. I described who I was as a child before I had bills to pay, before I had to think about responsibilities or think about the future or legacy. What I cared about at that point is what I truly care about. Exploring the world, discovering things, creating things from my imagination. That is my true self. And then my identities. I call myself a VFX artist, a 3D artist, a business owner. I run a 3D animation studio. I'm a freelancer, an employee, an employer. These are identities that I have created and I have attached myself to it so much that I forget to separate my true self from it. I'm going somewhere. Now let's go back 15, 20 years ago when I was still a child, when I was still super curious about the world. If someone had walked up to me and handed me the technology of today, saying, Sav, I know you want to create cool stuff. Here is this tech, type what you want and you're gonna see it. How do you think I would respond? I will be super excited. I will hug this person. I will thank this person every single day for making my dreams come true, for making my imagination become a reality. And if you're anything like me, you are an artist that grew up with curiosity, wanting to learn more about the world, wanting to create, wanting to express who you are in different forms. So just imagine for a second, you're that 12-year-old boy and then you are handed this technology. You would be ecstatic. You'll be so excited to dive into it, because that's your true self operating right there. But now you have put on the identities of VFX artist, 3D artist, creative director, art director. And now when you hear about this tool that is literally designed to bring your childhood dreams to reality, you freak out, you see it as a threat. Because you have spent too much time attaching yourself to your identities instead of your true self, what really makes you an individual. And you need to remember that all these differences over centuries, over decades, is just medium. The medium will always change. It has always been like that and it will always be like that. But the essence always remains the same. Now, you as a CGI artist, if you were born 200 years ago, your essence was still the same. You were curious, you were creative, but your medium would have been different. You would have probably been a sculptor or an engineer trying to figure out how to make things work. You would have still wanted to create, but in a different medium. This is why it's crazy to me when I see people argue about traditional painting versus digital art. The medium will always change. It is bound to happen because that's how humanity has developed over centuries. First, we started with legs. We were walking everywhere. Then we realized we could run. We ran faster. And then we realized we could tame animals. And then we tamed horses. And then we could move even faster. And then we had more horses and we had carriages. Now we could carry a lot of stuff while we move fast. And then we had cars, and then we took to the sky. So if you're going to take anything from this today, just remember this. The medium will always change. Remember who your true self is. Remember why you really started this, not when you wanted to get a job. No. Why you truly got curious about being creative. And whenever your mind is trying to tell you you're worthless, the work you're learning is useless, there's no point in even learning anymore, go back to your true self. Remember that the medium will always change, but your expression will always remain the same. So am I telling you to abandon AI? No. Am I telling you to explore AI? No. I'm telling you to always act from your true self. Always think back to why you started. Always remember the essence of why you're even doing what you're doing. I'm hoping this might help pull you out of any dark places when you're starting to have negative thoughts about the future, and then have hope and realize why you started. This is not what I typically post on this channel. I'm sure to a lot of my subscribers it's really weird. But you know, from time to time, you have to talk about why we create, not just what to create. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. I hope nobody talks about tutorials in the comment section.